You were curled up on the living room couch, the soft hum of the television filling the quiet space around you. A romantic drama played on the screen, but your eyes were not really focused. The warm yellow light spilling from the lamps cast a cozy glow across the room, and a faint aroma of jasmine from the diffuser lingered in the air. You exhaled slowly, letting the silence calm your nerves after a long, emotionally exhausting week. Just as your eyes began to relax, the sudden ding dong of the doorbell cut through the silence. You blinked a little startled. It was almost dusk. You were not expecting anyone. You got up cautiously, smoothing your loose shirt as you padded toward the door. As you unlocked it and pulled it open slightly, your breath caught. Standing there, leaning lazily against the frame with a smug smile, was Jungkook's older brother Taeyun. Your lips curled into a polite smile out of habit, but something inside you tightened. You didn't know why exactly, but ever since the wedding, you had felt this strange, uneasy tension whenever he was around. His presence always came with a flicker of discomfort you couldn't quite place. Still, you stepped aside and gestured lightly. Oh, hi, please come in. Taeyun gave you a slow, once over subtle, but not subtle enough to go unnoticed, and walked in, his shoes clicking softly against the hardwood floor. Didn't expect you to open the door, thought Jungkook would be home by now. You shut the door gently behind him, offering a practiced smile while your stomach quietly nodded. He's still at work. He said he might be late today. He made himself comfortable on the armchair across from the couch like he owned the place. You could feel the air shift around him, something about the way he looked around the house with too much interest, or how his tone carried just a hint of arrogance. So, how's married life treating you? He asked it with a smirk as if he knew something you didn't, like it was some sort of game to him. You straightened your posture, keeping your voice soft but steady. It's peaceful. Jungkook is very considerate. You watched the way his expression twitched slightly, as if something about that answer didn't quite sit right with him. His smile stayed on his lips, but it didn't reach his eyes. That's rare coming from him. Considerate, huh? He used to be different. Guess people change. His tone was laced with an odd amusement, and the way he looked at you, it was the kind of gaze that made you want to excuse yourself. You folded your arms slightly, your voice a little firmer this time. He's always been kind of to me. I think it depends on who he is with. You were not sure where this courage was coming from, but something about Theon's energy made you instinctively defensive, as if your gut was warning you not to let your guard down. There was a pause before he chuckled under his breath and leaned back. Little sister in law, you gave a tight lipped smile in response, already counting the seconds until Jungkook would walk through that door. You didn't want to be rude, but you couldn't shake the cold discomfort that settled over your skin. Your eyes drifted to the door again, slightly hoping that familiar sound of keys jangling in the lock would come soon, because only Jungkook's presence could ease that unease crawling up your spine. The kitchen was filled with the soft clinking of utensils and the gentle simmer of curry on the stove. You had tied your hair up into a messy bun apron, lightly dusted from floor as you focused on chopping the vegetables. Despite the tension from earlier, you tried your best to stay calm, to be a good host. You couldn't ignore that off feeling Taeyun gave you. That you told yourself you were just overthinking. Maybe it was just his personality, maybe it was nothing. You wiped your hands and picked up your phone quickly, typing out a message to Jungkook. Your brother showed up suddenly, just thought you should know. He's sitting in the living room. You hit send, then went back to stirring the pot. Just as you reached for the salt, you heard footsteps. Behind you, you turned expecting him to ask for water or maybe talk about why he came unannounced. But what you saw in Theon's eyes made your blood run cold. Before you could say a word, he stepped closer, much too close, his hand brushing against your arm in a way that was far from accidental. Excuse me, please step back. You said it sharply, taking a step back, heart thudding in your chest. Taeyun smirked, as if amused by your reaction. Relax, I'm just being friendly. You're too jumpy. His hand reached out again, this time grazing along your lower back. That was it. Your breath caught in your throat as you shoved him away with both hands, your voice shaking. Don't touch me, what's wrong with you? Without waiting for another word, you rushed out of the kitchen and bolted up the stairs. Your fingers fumbled at your bedroom door, finally locking it behind you as tears stung your eyes. You sank to the floor, knees pressed against your chest, arms hugging them tightly as silent sobs escaped your lips. The room felt like it was closing in. Your pulse erratic, your breath shallow. You didn't know what shook you more, his audacity or the fact that Jungkook wasn't here to protect you in that moment. Suddenly, the doorbell rang downstairs. Your breath hissed. You stayed frozen, heart thudding in like a drum. Moments later, there was a knock on your locked bedroom door, sharp and impatient. Fine, open the door. You recognized the voice, tense, cold, and deeper than usual. You scrambled to your feet, tears still streaming down your cheeks. You unlocked the door with trembling fingers, and as soon as it swung open, you saw him standing there, his jaw clenched, brows drawn together, hair slightly tousled from brushing. His eyes scanned your face. You ran to him and hugged him and started crying. You must be tired. But instead of leaning into your touch, Jungkook danced even more. Wine, please, not now. Still, you didn't let go. I was waiting all evening. I thought maybe you needed someone. He pulled away from your arms with a sudden motion, turning to face you, his voice loud, sharp, full of unfiltered frustration. I said, not now, damn it. Can you not understand something so simple? Just give me a minute to breathe. You froze. His words hit harder than a slap. You took a step back, instinctively, lips quivering, eyes blinking in confusion. Your throat tightened as your heart thudded painfully inside your chest. You looked down, not saying a word, just swallowing it all, but the silence cracked you. A single tear slipped down your cheek, and then, like a dam breaking, you collapsed onto the bed, your body curling in on itself as quiet sobs escaped. Jungkook turned away, pinching the bridge of his nose, still caught in his storm, but then heard it. The soft, broken way your breath caught, the way your shoulders shook, the tiny, painful sound of you trying not to cry out loud. No one loves me anymore. You whispered it like a child, like a herd that had finally snapped. Jungkook turned toward you, stunned. You don't listen to me. You push me away. You shout at me like I'm nothing. You hiccup through the soaps, rubbing your eyes with the back of your sleeve like a kid who didn't know how to be strong anymore. Even your brother, he touched me and I didn't say anything. But I thought maybe you would understand without me having to beg. Jungkook's body locked in place. His heart dropped. I didn't want to cry today. I really didn't. Your voice cracked, childlike, full of all the hurt you had been holding in. I made your favorite fruit. I folded your towel the way you like it. I lit the lavender candle so the room would feel calm. I tried to make you happy, but no one cares, not even you. Jungkook stared at you, his chest tight, every word stabbing through his ribs. You were not yelling, you were not accusing him with anger. You were broken, small, crushed under everything, and suddenly his frustration didn't matter. His long day at work, the shouting from his boss, the never ending pressure, it all felt so meaningless. Compared to the sight of you curled up crying like a child who just needed to be held, his voice came out low, harsh. Mine. But you didn't look up. You were still crying. Quietly now, he stepped closer and knelt in front of you. On the floor, slowly, carefully, he reached up and wiped a tear from your cheek. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I tried, but you were too busy yelling. That answer shattered him. He cupped your face gently, now voice trembling. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought I didn't mean to take it out on you. I was wrong. He kissed your forehead softly, then leaned his against yours. I'll make it right, I promise, but please don't ever think no one loves you. He exhaled, pulling you tightly into his arms, finally giving you the comfort you had craved from the beginning. You're mine, and I'll protect you from everyone, even my own blood. You were still in his arms, the room filled with nothing but your quiet sobs and Jungkook's deep, shaken breaths, but then suddenly his body shifted. You felt his grip change as he pulled away slightly, just enough to look you in the eyes. His gaze was no longer soft, it was fire. Come with me. Before you could ask, his hand slid gently around your wrist, protective this time, not harsh. You followed silently, still dazed, as he walked with long, stormy strides toward the door. The air around him had shifted. His silence was dangerous now, sharp down the stairs. Every step echoed like thunder, and there he was. Taeyun, sitting comfortably on the living room couch, legs crossed like he belonged there, phone in his hand, smirking at something on the screen. But that smirk vanished the moment he looked up. Jungkook let go of your hand and stepped in front of you like a wall of rage. Get up. Taeyun blinked confused, then chuckled. What's with the tone, little brother? Jungkook didn't repeat himself. He walked forward and, in one brutal motion, grabbed the front of Taeyong's collar and yanked him up off the couch. You touched my wife? Taeyong smiled out, panic freaking in his eyes. What? Jungkook, wait. But Jungkook's fist connected with his jaw before he could finish. The sound was sickening. You gas frozen by the doorway. Taeyong stumbled back, groaning as blood trickled from his lip. You thought I wouldn't find out, that you wouldn't tell me, you disgusting coward. Theon held up a hand, laughing nervously. It was a joke. She's being dramatic. Another punch. Harder this time. Theon fell to the floor, gripping his cheek. Don't you ever speak about her like that. He crouched down, grabbing him by the collar again, eyes burning with rage. You don't look at her, you don't talk to her, you don't breathe near her. She is mine, my wife, my responsibility. And you touched her like she was nothing. Theon groaned, trying to sit up, still disoriented. Chunk stood tall, now towering over him. You don't get to walk in here like this house belongs to you. You lost that right the moment you laid a hand on her. He turned briefly to glance back at you. Your eyes were wide, trembling, but filled with something else. Now, to safety. Then Jungkook looked back down at his brother one last time. If I ever see you near her again, I won't just use my fists. Taeyeon didn't reply. He knew better now. Jungkook turned on his heel, walked back to you, and gently took your hand once again. He didn't say a word, just held you close as he led you upstairs away from Phil, back to safety. And in that silence, you knew one thing. He believed you, he chose you, and no matter how cold or distant he could be, when it came to you, he burned like fire.